So at this point in time, you should have seen two of my videos. So in the first video, I talked about everything you need to do before you enter the credit card game, giving you an idea in terms of what to expect and how you should prepare for the credit card game. And then my very last video, I'll talk about the different tiers of credit cards that are available within the credit card game. Now we're going to talk about credit cards that are under a certain bank, or to be more specific, a credit card trifecta. And this one is the overall best trifecta out now. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the Chase trifecta. So in this video, we're going to discuss the good, the bad, and how, in my opinion, this is the best overall trifecta in the credit card game. Even though I say this is the overall best trifecta in the game, there are still some complications involved. Like, for example, there's 4 credit cards they can use to make up a trifecta, which is normally 3. In this case, 3 credit cards. So we're going to go over each of these 4 credit cards, and then I'm going to talk about how they are good and how they're bad and whatever the case may be. So let's start off with the Chase Freedom Unlimited card. This is the first credit card that I got when I stepped foot in the credit card game. Since this is a starter credit card, you can expect that there will be no APR for a certain time frame, which is true. In this case, it's 15 months. So there's 0 APR for 15 months. There's no annual fee, which is the norm for a starter card. And you're going to get 20,000 points after spending $500 with the card within 3 months of you getting the card. Now, as of me doing research on this video, which was a month ago, they had a limited time offer where you could get 25,000 points after you spend $500 with this card within 3 months of you getting it. Now, I don't know if that offer is still going on now as of me recording this video. Since it is a limited time offer, it's going to go away. And we might get a different limited time offer in the future. So that's normally how these credit cards work, to try and get more people to sign up for these credit cards. They do limited time offers. Getting back to the Chase Freedom Unlimited card, you're going to get 5 times the points on travel purchases made on the Chase travel site. You're also going to get 3 times the points on restaurants, including takeout and eligible delivery services, and drugstores. And then you're going to get 1.5 times the points that you make on all other purchases. So this is a catch-all card. Now you're probably wondering, what is that catch-all card? That is where you got a card that will give you a bunch of points they can use towards categories that are not normally listed. So for example, restaurants category, drugstores category, grocery store category, hotels category, airliners category, gas station category, so something like that. So normally categories that you don't see on the credit card, that's where the catch-all card becomes a play, because normally you're going to get 1.5 times the points, or 2 times the points, or 5 times the points, whatever the case may be. We're going to see examples of this from other credit cards. But with the Chase Freedom Unlimited, it's a catch-all card. Is it the best one? No, but it's not bad. It's really not bad, especially for those who are trying to get into the credit card game. This is not a bad starter catch-all card for those of you who are getting into the credit card game. Now, let's move on to another starter credit card that you may want to start with, and that is the Chase Freedom Flex. Now, you're going to find this to be deja vu, so check this out. This is a starter card that has 0 APR for 15 months, no annual fees, and you'll normally get 20,000 points after you spend $500 with the card within 3 months of you getting the card. And you will also get 5 times the points on travel purchases made on the Chase travel site, 3 times the points on restaurants, including takeout and eligible delivery services and drugstore purchases. You're going to get 1 time the points on all other purchases. So that 1.5, like the Chase Freedom Unlimited, just 1, which is normally the norm for a lot of credit cards, which is meh. But there is one thing that the Chase Freedom Flex have that the Chase Freedom Unlimited don't have, and that most credit cards don't have, and that is this: 5 times the points on quarterly rotating categories. Now you're probably wondering, what is that? So basically, in case you don't know, you should know this, but in case you don't know, a calendar year have 4 quarters. January, February, and March, that's 1. April, May, and June, that's 2. July, August, September, that's 3. And October, November, December, that's 4. Now, within each quarter, there's normally categories that will be associated with that quarter where you can use this Freedom Flex card to get 5 times the points on. So, for example, as of me doing this research, which was back in December 2024, you were looking at credit towards McDonald's, PayPal, pet shops, and vet services, and select charities. You would get 5 times the point when you make purchases towards those companies those categories and things of that nature. But once the new quarter comes up, those categories are gone and they're going to be replaced with other categories. So it may be replaced with Amazon, hotel purchases, gym memberships, and something along those lines. But every quarter, you need to check and see what they are, and you need to activate your card so you can get 5 times the points towards those categories that are associated with that quarter. So keep that in mind. Next up, we got a mid-tier credit card in the form of the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Since this is a mid-tier credit card, this one will not have 0 APR for a certain time frame. This one will have an annual fee. So in this case, it would be $95. But this one do have a $50 annual travel credit they can use on the Chase travel site, and effectively knock that $95 annual fee to $45. They also have a sign-up bonus where normally you would get 60,000 points after spending $4,000 with this card within 3 months, which is meh at best. Now, in terms of the reward multipliers, you're looking at 5 times the points on travel and car rentals on the Chase travel site and Pelton purchases, 3 times the points on restaurants, including takeout and eligible delivery services, select streaming services, online grocery stores, not including Target, Walmart, and wholesale clubs, for example, Sam's Club and Costco's. You're going to get 2 times the points on all other travel purchases, and 1 times the points on all other purchases. You're looking at no foreign transaction fees, whereas the previous 2 Chase cards, they will have foreign transaction fees. This one will not. You look at the 1-to-1 point transfer, and this one does include a DoorDash Dash Pass subscription. That was the Chase Sapphire Preferred. You can go either with that card, or you can go with the big boy, which is the Chase Sapphire Reserve. This is an upper tier credit card here, and by the way, you can only pick one of these 2 Chase Sapphire cards, either the Preferred or the Reserve. Although I have seen a video where somebody managed to get 2 of these, but that's another story for another day. So let's get on the Chase Sapphire Reserve, which is the upper tier credit card. So this one's gonna have an annual fee of $550. However, you're gonna get $300 annually that you can use towards travel on the Chase travel site, effectively knocking that $550 down to $250 per year. You're also gonna get 60,000 points after spending $4,000 with this card within 3 months of you receiving the card. Now let's take a look at the reward multipliers. You're looking at 10 times the points on hotel and car rentals on the Chase travel website, Pelton purchases, and Chase dining, 5 times the points on travel, 3 times the points on restaurants, including takeout and eligible delivery services, and all other travel purchases, and there's no foreign transaction fees as well. You're also going to get a 1-to-1 point transfer in terms of transferring your points from Chase over to their travel partner, and it's going to cost $75 probably per year to add an authorized user to the card. You also get a DoorDash Dash Pass subscription, Priority Pass lounge access, plus 2 accompanying guests. You're also going to get access to the Chase Sapphire Lounge if you're at an airport that have a lounge, that is. You're also going to get an application fee that will go towards Global Entry, TSA PreCheck, or Nexus, which is up to $120 every 4 years, by the way. And you're going to get an auto rental collision damage waiver. And the coverage is primary and provides reimbursement up to $75,000 for theft and collision damages for rental cars. Now, between the 2, in terms of the Chase Sapphire Reserve and the Preferred, with the Preferred, you're going to get 25% more points if you use your points on the Chase travel site. But if you go with the Chase Sapphire Reserve, then you're going to get 50% more points that you can use towards the Chase travel site. But don't do these right away, because transferring your points from Chase over to the travel partners are better in most cases. Again, do your research, see which one saves you the most amount of points before you make that decision. Because if you have the Chase Sapphire Reserve, I mean, 50% more points, that don't sound bad. Any other time, no, transfer your points. But with that card, you may have to do your research, see which is better. So with all that out the way, let's talk about the good with this Trifecta, depending on which one you pick. So Chase arguably have the best transfer partners. So we talk about Hyatt, we talk about Marriott, we talk about Air Canada with their Aeroplan, which covers United flights. We talk about Air France/KLM Flying Blue, which have monthly promos. We talking Virgin Atlantic Flying Club, which covers Delta, ANA, if you're lucky, that is. We talk about Singapore Airlines Chris Flyers. We talk about British Airways Executive Club, which covers American Airlines. This Trifecta is beginner friendly. It's easy to get the Freedom cards, easy to downgrade and product change from the Sapphire cards to the Freedom cards, or from the Freedom cards to the Freedom rides if you want to do that. The points are easy to manage, and this is the cheapest trifecta if you roll with the trifecta that includes the Chase Sapphire Preferred. So let's talk about the bad. The points multipliers could be better, let's be honest here. Because all 4 cards have 3 times the points on dining. Like, what is that about? That to me is lame. With the exception of the Sapphire cards, the other 3 cards have 5 times the points on Chase Travel. Whereas with Sapphire, you're going to get 10 times the points on hotels. But with the other 3, it's like, why do they have the same multipliers? Both the Chase Sapphire Preferred and the Chase Sapphire Reserve have the same sign-up bonus of 60,000 points. To me, that makes no sense. One is a mid-tier card, the other one is an upper-tier card. So the upper-tier card should have more than the mid-tier card, especially when your competitors have more with their sign-up bonuses than the Chase Sapphire Reserve. The 2 Freedom cards have 3 times the points on drugstores, which is not really an important category in my opinion. Also, to have 1 credit card that have 4 transaction fees, that okay, whatever. But to have both the Freedom Flex and the Freedom Unlimited to have 4 transaction fees, to me is egregious. The fact that none of these credit cards have an in-person grocery category, to me that's a slap in the face. Especially the fact that the Preferred have an online grocery one, that's a slap in the face to me. That makes no sense. These cards do not cover gas stations or EV charging, so that's another issue. The City Custom Cash card have 5 times the points on top spending categories as opposed to 5 times the points on categories that you do not control, referring to the Chase Freedom Flex. The Venture X lets you earn 2 times the points on all other purchases, while the Freedom Unlimited lets you earn 1.5 times the points. Now granted, the Venture X is a upper tier credit card that have an annual fee of $375, while the Chase Freedom Unlimited have 0 annual fees. So I'm not sure if that's really a good thing or a bad thing, because you could look at it like this. Their competition have 2 times the points, but at the same time, if you look at their upper tier cards, the Venture X and the Chase Sapphire Reserve, this one have 2 times the points. This one don't. So yeah, there's a bit of a problem there. There's not enough innovation when it comes to these Chase credit cards, especially when compared to their competitors. And by competitors, I'm looking at the American Express, I'm looking at Citi, I'm looking at Capital One, I'm even looking at Wells Fargo, which is at the low end of this list, to be honest. And there's not a lot of Chase Sapphire lounges in comparison to American Express lounges, but they do have more than Capital One lounges. Now, before I give you my overall thoughts, you need to be aware of the rules that Chase have. Chase have the 524 rule, where if you are approved for 5 credit cards, doesn't matter where you get them from, within the last 24 months, you cannot apply for another Chase credit card. Now, Chase also have the 230 rule, where you cannot apply and be approved for more than 2 Chase credit cards within 30 days. Overall, this trifecta is really good, especially for beginners, and the strategy here is to get multiple sign-up bonuses, and there is a specific strategy to do that, but that would be talked about in a private video. And this trifecta is good for people who travel, who eats a lot, and with the Chase Sapphire Reserve, who like to hang out in the lounges. So overall, I'm going to give this a 7.5 out of 10. It's still easy to manage, and the multiplier do cover a lot of categories, not as much as Citi, but it still cover a lot. So that's why I'm still saying overall, this is the best trifecta in the game right now. But when it comes to reward multipliers, this ain't even close. Well, it is though. We're gonna talk about that in my next video. This is True Inferno, and I'll see you guys next time.